I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show, and once you're finished getting educated, you can go ahead and click on that merchandise tab, and that's where you'll find the classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, and all of the other different versions of our great event t-shirts that we've released from over the last couple of years. Don't worry, all of the gimmicks are there. Socks, throw pillows, wall art. You can outfit your entire home or your entire body or your entire friend's home and body for the holidays. Just go ahead and pick up some Renegades of Puck merchandise. After all, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Stick taps to everyone who's picked up some merchandise over the holiday season. Social media is critically important to this operation, and you can help us out by going to any one of the following social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can find us on all of those, and you can find us posting different content on all of them. Please give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscription, especially when it comes to YouTube. That's where you can find Renegades of Puck Television, the video version of the podcast. You can also find the audio version of the podcast on a myriad of different platforms like Stitcher, like Spotify, Google, Amazon. You can find us on all of those different platforms and even more. You can find the Renegades of Puck everywhere. You can also become a partner of the Renegades of Puck by going to Venmo. Just search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. We sure do appreciate everyone who has sent us a nice donation. $1 goes a long way to helping an independent operation like the Renegades of Puck. You can see the difference this season compared to last season. That's all thanks to you, Renegades of Puck. Generous renegades like you have helped us stay in operation and continue building the operation. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you out there. It has been a tremendous year, and we could not have done it without you. Now, I know it's time to deliver the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's operation number 687 for the Renegades of Puck. That is right, it's already show number 687, rapidly approaching episode number 700, yet another milestone for the Renegades of Puck. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division after 27 games played in the season. They have a record of 12-12-3, and even 500. 27 points has the Nashville Predators, 3 points behind the 4th place Colorado Avalanche, 5 points behind the 3rd place Minnesota Wild, and they are 10 points behind the Winnipeg Jets for second, 12 points now behind the Dallas Stars for first place in the Central. So let me rewind that back for you. Going from top down, Dallas is in first place with Winnipeg, followed by Minnesota, Colorado, then Nashville. Then you'll find the St. Louis Blues with the same number of points as the Nashville Predators. They played 2 more games than the Preds, so the Preds hold the tiebreaker, as if that matters at this point. The Arizona Coyotes are in 7th place in the division with 22 points. Chicago Blackhawks have 18 and are in 8th and last place. Now, for the Nashville Predators, their next game will take place on the road. They have a road record of 5-7-1 on the season. They've only scored 70 goals on the season. That's not the worst in the division. The Chicago Blackhawks are the worst in the division with only 62. The Preds have given up 85 against. Minus 15 is their goal differential. Their next opponent is the Winnipeg Jets, currently sitting in 2nd place in the Central Division, a record of 18-9-1, 37 points on the season, 2 points behind the Dallas Stars for first place. On home ice, a record of 10-5-0. They've scored 94 goals in the season. They've only given up 75. They have a goal differential of plus 19. It's the first of 4 meetings between these two teams. The next will take place on January the 24th, when the Nashville Predators will be at home against Winnipeg. The 3rd game in the series will also take place in February on the 18th in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena. And then near the end of the season, on the 8th of April, the Nashville Predators will make their 2nd and final trip of the season to Winnipeg to take on the Jets. For the Nashville Predators, they are gone for more than 1 game. They will also be Saturday in Colorado to take on the Avalanche before returning back home Monday to face the Edmonton Oilers again. Aren't we all looking forward to that one? On the 21st of December, they're at Chicago, and on the 23rd of December versus the Colorado Avalanche here at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, and then a 4-day break for Christmas holiday, and then the 27th of December is when the calendar and the schedule resumes, and that will be versus the Dallas Stars at Bridgestone Arena. Now, For the Winnipeg Jets, taking a look inside their most recent stretch of hockey, the last 5 is what we'll focus on. On December the 6th was a 5-2 victory versus the Florida Panthers. On the 8th of December, a 5-2 victory at St. Louis. On the 9th of December, a 3-1 win at Chicago. 12-11, a 5-2 loss versus Washington, and their most recent game was a 6-5 loss versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Taking a look inside the rankings and the numbers between these two teams, for the Nashville Predators, frankly, they are on the bottom third of the NHL in virtually every single statistic, and the Winnipeg Jets are in the top half of the league in virtually everything. Let's go through the numbers. Goals for the Nashville Predators are 29th overall in the NHL, only scoring 2.52 goals per game, while the Winnipeg Jets are 11th in the NHL, generating 3.36 goals per game. They have 94 total on the season in goals against. Nashville Predators are 17th in the NHL, giving up 3.11 per game, while the Winnipeg Jets are 5th in the NHL, giving up 2.68 per game. Shots on goal, the Preds are 24th, generating 30 on net per game, while the Winnipeg Jets are 20th in the NHL, generating 30.8 on net per game. Shots against, the Predators are 23rd, giving up 32.9 against, and the Winnipeg Jets are 16th, giving up 31.6 against per game. Now, in special teams, the PK for the Winnipeg Jets is a superior unit compared to the Nashville Predators and any of their units. 5th overall, they've given up 14 power play goals on the season, killing off 81.6% of their penalties against. Their power play, 23.3% conversion rate, 21 out of 90 on the season, is 15th overall in the NHL. The Nashville Predators special teams near the bottom of the NHL. Their power play converting at 15.2%, 29th overall in the league, 15 out of 99 overall on the season. The penalty kill, 76.6%, 20th rated in the NHL. They've given up 22 power play goals against. Injuries are a problem for this Nashville Predators team right now. Luzon still listed as day-to-day. McDonough 1 to 3 weeks, but I have a feeling it's going to be towards the lower end. I've watched this player my entire career. I just have a feeling he's going to get back before that 3-week time frame. Carry a week to week. That's a concerning one right there, because if it is, in fact, and I'm just speculating here, a concussion, then this could be a long-term injury, just like Mark Borowiecki, who is already on injured reserve, we know, for the same thing. Now, every team in the NHL has a myriad of individual superstars, and the Winnipeg Jets are no different than that. Morrissey currently leads the Winnipeg Jets in scoring with 5 goals and 27 assists, 32 total points on the season. Dubois, 14 and 16 for 30 points. Connor, 11 goals and 19 assists for 30 points. And Connor usually plays quite well against the Nashville Predators, as well as Scheifele, 18 goals on the season, 8 assists for 26 total points. And Wheeler also usually plays good against the Nashville Predators, 9 goals, 17 assists for 26 points overall. So the top 5 scorers for the Winnipeg Jets would all be leading the Nashville Predators in scoring. On the Nashville Predators side of the ledger, Philip Forsberg at 8 and 16, very stagnant right now with 24 points. The captain, Roman Josi, approaching the number 1 spot very quickly now, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points, not only approaching the number 1 spot for this season, but approaching the franchise's all-time scoring leader spot over David Legwand. Matt Duchene, 6 goals and 15 assists for 21 points. Matt Duchene really needs to start finding the back of the net, and he needs to start finding it now. Granlund at 4 and 14 for 18 points. Johansson, 8 and 8 for 16. Now, in net, this could be a really good matchup right here. We've always had good matchups between these two teams in net. It was always Pekka Rinne against Hellebuck. Now it's UC Saros, the heir apparent, against Hellebuck. Hellebuck is having a great season so far. 14-7-1, 9.26 save percentage, 2.45 goals against average, while UC Saros is at 9-8-3 on the record, 908 save percentage, 2.93 goals against average. And we all know he has played much better as of late. He's put in some pretty significant performances, and that's one of the only reasons Nashville Predators have a 500 record on the season. With as lowest scoring offenses they have, you know it has to be the netminder that is keeping them afloat, and that's exactly what UC Saros is doing in this. The Nashville Predators have an opportunity to go up against Central Division rival, the Winnipeg Jets, first of 4 meetings on the regular season. Preds really need these points. 10 points behind Winnipeg right now. At this early in the season, Nashville Predators need to start cutting that lead, need to find some momentum, need to find some positivity, need to find some success. We're keeping it all business tonight. We ranted, we raved, we shared a lot of musings last night. If you want to check out all of those concepts and all of those rants and all of the things we talked about in last night's episode, please go back, check episode 686. It's always available to you completely on demand on our YouTube page. We'd appreciate if you go back and check our work. We don't mind. We put it out there for a reason. We leave it up for a reason. And so you can go back and double check exactly what we're saying and make sure not only are we remaining consistent, but you can check for the accuracy. We call ourselves out when we get something wrong. Believe me. And the Renegades of Puck are always willing to own up to it and always willing to be honest. Renegades also always stand behind each other's backs. That's why I stand behind my Renegades back. Rebirth Sports, check out their work, rebirthsports.com, or find them on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Very easy to find them, and they're very interactive, very good people, and I certainly love having a partnership with that crew. You see me wearing the Renegades of Puck home jersey right here in the bunker. You see me wearing the road jersey, the third jersey, just last night skating with the Mighty Drunks here in Middle Tennessee in the Middle C Division. Got a chance to pull on the red, white, and blue Rebirth Sports Mighty Drunks jersey. Good-looking threads out there at the rink. Got asked multiple times, where did that jersey come from? And I had to tell them, of course, because I love having the conversation. Came from Rebirth Sports. Sure to appreciate them. They take visions, make them reality, and they are certainly not jersey makers. They are hockey tailors. So check out their work, rebirthsports.com. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's go all the way back to December the 13th of the year 2022 when the Nashville Predators were going to take on the Edmonton Oilers. And John Hines deploys his lines in the following way. Forsberg, Granlund, Duchesne as you pick up your first line. Niederreiter, Glass, and Sissons. Trennan, Parson, and Janot. Smith, Johansson, and Jankowski. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Grosek, Coleman, Fabro, Gravel, and McEwen, with Lankinen getting the start in net. So the lines are yet again jumbled by John Hines, looking to find some offense, looking to find some consistency on the second night of back-to-back games. We are 1:15 in the first period, and Glass has the second goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. It was a long shot from out there by the blue line, and it squeaked through Campbell. First shot on goal of the game, first shot for the Nashville Predators. It finds its way into the net, and for Glass, that's great news right there. Good to see him back on the score sheet. 5:51 of the first period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Hyman, driving the net hard. 7:51, Campbell comes up with a save on Trennan at 8:19. That's where Hyman is going to get Edmonton's first goal of the game. It's his 11th goal of the season. A deflection of Bouchard's long shot. An absolutely perfect deflection from the side of the net and into the back of the net. And the Oilers already have won. 11:30 into the first period, Campbell comes up with a save on Jankowski at the back door. At 13:09, Campbell comes up with a save on Gross from the top of the circle. 14:23, Lankinen back to work with a save on Yamamoto before coming up with a save on McDavid just 11 seconds later. At 14:50, there's Hyman. Second goal of the period, 12th goal of the season. Lankinen makes the first save, but Fabro's diving effort to keep the puck out of the net cannot prevent the goal from going in. Edmonton Oilers now lead 2-1 at Bridgestone Arena just that quickly. 15:52 of the first period, Nugent Hopkins is off the box, 2 minutes, and we will see Campbell come with a save on Niederreiter's jam opportunity ×2. 4 total shots on goal for the Nashville Predators, and it looked like for a brief second there the power play had just a brief little bit of a pulse. 18:58 of the first period, Janot's off the box, 2 minutes for a roughing. McDavid would hit the post, but then Draisaitl follows up just seconds later with his 20th of the season. One-timer off Nugent Hopkins, cross zone feed. Really great setup, even better shot. His 20th of the season gives the Edmonton Oilers a 3-1 lead at Bridgestone Arena. At the end of the first period, the Edmonton Oilers are out shooting the Nashville Predators 14-7. So for just a brief moment there, the Nashville Predators had the lead in this game. 1:17 in the second period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Nurse with heavy traffic in front. He fights through it with good vision and finds that puck and makes a save. 3:22 into the second period, Johansson's 8th goal of the season. It's a finish on one knee from the circle after Forsberg's cross zone feed. It puts the game back at 3-2, still in favor of the Oilers, but the Preds feel like they're back in this game until at 4:19, Draisaitl, his 22nd goal of the season. It was just a perfect shot off of the Russian. He's literally unstoppable against the Nashville Predators. I know he's almost unstoppable against almost everyone in the league, but he is unstoppable against the Nashville Predators team. Edmonton back on top by 2 now, leading 4-2 in the second period. 7:06 of the second period, Holloway's off the box, 2 minutes for interference. The Preds would hit one post to get some good zone time, but that is about it. 9:53 of the second period, Dante Fabro's first goal of the season makes it 4-3 in favor of Edmonton. Nashville Predators back by 1 goal, only down. It was a 3-on-2, and Fabro takes the middle of that 3-on-2 rush from the high slot. He goes bar down and puts the Preds back within reach in this game. 11:55 of the second period. Nurse is off the box, 2 minutes for holding. We also see Ryan off to the box, 2 minutes for holding. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for 43 seconds for the Nashville Predators. This is the best opportunity they've had to get back in the game. And Johansson just cannot connect at the back post. Maybe it was a stick check. Maybe the pass wasn't in the perfect location. It doesn't matter. At this point, someone has to be able to convert on the 5-on-3, and that's exactly what the Nashville Predators failed to do for the rest of the entirety of the 5-on-3. Then for the 5-on-4, then at 18:35, McEwen's off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping, and that's when Connor McDavid has his 26th goal of the season, giving Edmonton a 5-3 lead over the Nashville Predators. And Dante Fabro just got turned inside out, went for the stick check, went to the reach. Before he could even come close to getting that puck, McDavid just fired that puck and ripped it in. You simply are not going to beat Connor McDavid. McDavid and Draisaitl against the Nashville Predators are otherworldly, and they are absolutely unstoppable. It is a different level that the Nashville Predators simply do not have any response or answer to. Believe me, if they did, they would try to deploy it by now, and they just simply do not. We hit the end of the second period, Edmonton leading 5-3 and also out shooting the Nashville Predators 25-18. We're 3:27 into the third period, and that's when Campbell comes up with a save on Jankowski at 3:49. Malone's off the box, 2 minutes for a high sticking. The Preds are going to get back into it. Who the hell am I talking to here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing. The power plays, it's the worst. It is the worst. It is absolutely costing this team games over and over and over again. 8:19 of the third period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Bouchard, cutting back post. 10-12, Lankinen comes up with a save on McDavid at close range. 12:41, Lankinen comes up with a save on McDavid. 17:23, Hyman with the empty net goal. His 13th of the season completes the hat trick. And the Nashville Predators would go on to lose this game 6-3 on home ice, being outshot 36-32. The Nashville Predators for years with Pekka Rinne owned the Edmonton Oilers, and then something changed. Draisaitl and McDavid came along. Since then, ownership has firmly changed hands and is not coming back to the Nashville Predators anytime soon. They have no answer. They have no response. And frankly, it's one of the most lopsided things I think that I've ever seen in NHL history, what Draisaitl and McDavid are doing to the Nashville Predators. Draisaitl has 10 points against the Nashville Predators in 2 games this season. And it's not just this season. It's been going on for a long time now. The Edmonton Oilers looked like the greatest team in the NHL, and they're only in 4th place in their own division. And they came in and just wore the Nashville Predators out. Scored 7 on them in the first game of the season, first match of the season in Edmonton. They score 6 at Bridgestone Arena, and they're on their way back in just a couple of days on next Monday to face off against the Nashville Predators again. Are the Preds going to find a way to stop Draisaitl and McDavid between now and then? Absolutely not. There's not a chance in hell. There's no stopping McDavid and Draisaitl when it comes to the Nashville Predators. You can only hope to survive it, and they have no hope of doing that either. Strong Style Fitness is a great partner here of the Renegades of Puck, and we love our partners. Strong Style Fitness can be found online, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram is their preferred method of communication when it comes to social media. StrongStyleFit.com is where you can find the website. 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer, completely free to each and every one of the Renegades of Puck. Just go to YouTube and search Strong Style Fit, and you'll be able to find those, whether it's your first step off the couch, your first workout, or you've been at it for years. Tracy has a workout that is designed and dedicated to each and every one of you out there. She just wants to get you moving and get you motivated and keep you healthy. She has provided all of these workouts on her YouTube channel completely for free. So Renegades of Puck, in a world that is becoming increasingly more expensive every day, take advantage of an opportunity to have the Renegades of Puck personal trainer at Strong Style Fitness. Great partner here of the show. Kevin Lankinen in this game, 31 out of 36, 5 goals against. And it's easy to see why the coaching staff started UC Saros in St. Louis last night. They knew their best opportunity to get points in this back-to-back was in St. Louis against the Blues. So you start your main netminder, UC Saros, in that game. Kevin Lankinen never had a chance in this game. Listen, he's put up some okay performances so far this year in his limited sample size, being told he was going to get more games at the back, was going to be more utilized this season. So far, not living up to that prediction going into the season. But Lankinen never had a chance against the Edmonton Oilers. He was fed to the Wolves, and he didn't even have an opportunity to really get into this game before it was already 3-1. Lankinen, there's no critique on him. He was fed to the Wolves, and he went ahead and got eaten by the Wolves. Let's go ahead and talk about just a couple of things that maybe I can pull on some positive threads. We've had a lot of negativity, and I want to try to at least be all business here. Johansson, he got demoted. He went down to the fourth line to start this game, and you know what? He responded. He got a goal, and he was noticeable. He had an opportunity on the 5-on-3 to go ahead and chip that puck in, just couldn't do it at the back post after taking 3 penalties in St. Louis, and coming out here, scores a goal, and maybe he'll earn some more ice time from the coaching staff. We'll see moving forward. But I thought Ryan Johansson was at least worth making a notation on in this game. Glass, good to see him. It's something positive. Again, I'm trying to find positives here. Seeing Glass get a goal is a good thing. We talked a whole lot in the last episode about the failure to develop youth. Glass getting out there on the ice, scoring a goal, at least it doesn't change how I feel about that or change my opinions on that. But it's good to see Glass out there, and that feeds into the next point as well. And Dante Fabro scored in this game as well. So another player from the Preds development system coming alive, getting a goal, and hopefully now starting to trend in the right direction. But honestly, it's 1 goal in 1 game, and the Preds lost. So it's not something I'm really going to put too much into, but I'm trying to find some positive linings here to pull on. But there's one thing I do want to just expand on the Dante Fabro portion of this. There was too much gushing on the broadcast about Dante Fabro. Dante Fabro scored a goal, and he tried to make a nice hustle play diving back across the crease, but that puck ends up in the net. He got undressed by McDavid. That puck ends up in the net. Those are 2 goals directly against him. And at this point in his career, he's not a rookie. He should not be coddled any longer by anybody. To hear the amount of gushing going on the broadcast about what a great game Dante Fabro played tonight against the Edmonton Oilers, I see he made some good plays. I see he made some bad plays. I see everyone needs to stop trying to gush over a player that has failed to develop and has been bypassed by a number of other prospects who were drafted much lower than him. Honestly, it's time for Dante Fabro to step up. So many other prospects have faltered and failed. Dante Fabro seems to be the one that has been given unlimited patience out there, and so far, he is not deserving of the amount of gushing he was getting on the broadcast tonight. I agree, he did make a couple of good plays, but he also made a couple of bad plays, and at this point in his career in the NHL, he should be much further along in his development than he is, and that is indicative of another failure by this Predators coaching staff and franchise to utilize that defenseman and get him to where he needs to be. Alex Carrier just bypassed him on the roster like it was absolutely nothing. You look down right now, Gross is on the top pair right now for the Nashville Predators. Not Fabro. Fabro cannot be trusted in that role. So too much gushing on the broadcast over Dante Fabro. What's the next point I wanted to get to? I made a couple of other notes. McDavid and Draisaitl. I've talked about it so many times. They're just unstoppable against this Nashville Predators team. Listen, obviously there are other teams that struggle to stop them as well, but not to the degree of 5 points per game against Draisaitl. Just feasts, and it's absurd. It's absurd. Speed kills, and the Nashville Predators have no response for it. A team that was supposed to be rough and tumble, we're going to get them in the corners, and we're going to slow them down by mucking it up. There's none of that this season. The team had some of it last year. They don't have that this year. They don't look like that. They don't play like that. They don't act like that. And the Edmonton Oilers know it. And they skated right by them, and they put the puck in the net. And that's exactly how you win hockey games. Speed absolutely kills. And the Edmonton Oilers never gave the Predators a chance to even take a breath in this game. Sean C. Smith is going to follow up on that point and also make his own points from A to Z Sports. You can find him on Twitter at SCSNSH. He's the one and only Sean C. Smith, and he's going to take over while I take a drink.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith. And, of course, we've got to talk about this game against the Edmonton Oilers. Now, let me say this. Last night on this very show, I said that this game had the potential to be one of two things, and that would be an Edmonton Oilers blowout of the Nashville Predators, or just because I said it, the Predators would blow out the Edmonton Oilers. And, of course, I was right. I don't want to necessarily say that 6-3 is a blowout, but it was a pretty big victory. And what it really came down to, and I'm sure Charlie's already mentioned this, but I'm sure, this was the result of power play problems, and that's the Predators having power play opportunities and failing to convert, and the simple fact that Edmonton against this team converts on the power play quite regularly. And I'll say this, there's a big reason for this, and I'm going to go back to someone we've heard of before, and you're probably familiar with this quote, but the late great Rick James, the super freak himself, once said, "Cocaine is a hell of a drug." And I'm going to tell you what else is a hell of a drug. Speed. And I don't mean the actual drug speed. I mean the kind of speed that Connor McDavid has when he's on the ice. Speed kills the Nashville Predators. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot they can do when the other team is fast. And when the other team is fast, and not just fast, but has players like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the ice, there's not a lot they can do. They are not built, they are not designed, they are not set up to be successful against teams like the Edmonton Oilers. You want a little more evidence? I've decided to do something I don't normally do on the show. Let's talk about stats. Okay, first thing I'm going to say. There were 6 goals by the Edmonton Oilers in this game. Would you believe that within those 6 goals, there were 13 points shared between McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman? That's pretty crazy, right? Now, if you want something even crazier, over the last 10 games against the Nashville Predators, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have a combined 54 points against the Nashville Predators. And let's take it a step further. You know, there was a long run where the Predators beat the Oilers every time they met. From 2015 to 2018, the Predators were undefeated against the Edmonton Oilers. However, since 2020 until now, they have yet to win a game against the Oilers. What I'm trying to say here is there's a reason I made a prediction that it was going to be a blowout. This was not something unexpected. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that the team's missing some key defenders. I don't think it has to do with the way the lines are set up. I don't think it has anything to do with Eeli Tolvanen. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that this team is designed to be a team that forces you to play a slow game by grinding you down and wearing you out. The problem is sometimes playing that game against a team that is fast and has a lot of skill, again, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, means that you can't catch them. And if you can't catch them, you can't hit them. And if you don't hit them, you can't slow them down. Charlie, that's about all I've got tonight. I'm going to send it back over to you.
Stripe Digital Solutions is another great partner of the Renegades of Puck, and I sure do appreciate everything Stripe Digital Solutions does for us here in the trenches. Check out their work, stripedigitalsolutions.com, or online, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You see the crest that is on the jersey right here. You see the logo on the wall behind me. The website, renegadesofpuck.com. Our social media and brand building plan, all of that is managed by and through Stripe Digital Solutions. We could not succeed on any level in the current world the way it functions without a strong digital partner, and Stripe Digital Solutions is the strongest digital partner. I urge and encourage each and every one of you to reach out to Brandy and start the conversation today. I think that my website is fantastic. My logos, my graphics, I think everything is wonderful, and that is because I have visions and ideas, and then they are whittled down by Stripe Digital Solutions into something that actually is coherent and makes sense on the screen. They do incredible work, and I encourage each and every one of you, check out Stripe Digital Solutions today. Let's take a quick look at the box score. And listen, there's not a lot to talk about on the box score, but again, we're trying to keep it all business, and we're going to go ahead and run through the numbers. Glass scores a goal in this game. Johansson scores a goal. Dante Fabro scores a goal in this game. All three of those players needed it on the score sheet. It's good to see all three of those players on the score sheet. It's good to see 3 players on the score sheet, period, for the Nashville Predators, since they average just about 2.5 goals per game. On the assist category of things, the captain Roman Josi with 2 in this game. 2 more points gets him closer to the all-time franchise record for most points by a Nashville Predator. Trenton picked up an assist. Sissons picked up an assist. Jankowski and Forsberg also picked up assists. Leader in shots on goal was Gross with 5. He also had numerous other attempts that didn't quite make it through to the net, but Gross is definitely offensive-minded out there. You can see that when he gets the puck, he's looking to shoot, and that's good because somebody has to put the puck on the net for the Nashville Predators, and they haven't been doing that nearly enough for themselves as of late. When it comes to blocked shots, 3 was the high, and I circled 2, Fabro and Gravel. Again, good to see Dante Fabro performing good in this statistical metric, but again, my point was not that he had a bad game. It was that they were gushing too much about a performance that he should be having each and every night out there. He should be making those big plays by this point in his career. Again, we've already talked about it. I don't need to do that again. But the rest of the box score, 19-20. Parsonen leads the forwards in time on ice with 19-20, and that's good trust by the head coach, John Hines, right there. Parsonen has slowed in scoring, but he's still playing quite good hockey out there. And the captain, Romaniosti, of course, with the majority of the regular defense corps out of the lineup, 26-52 in time on ice. And again, the 2 assists in that one, and at 4 shots on net as well. 650 in power play time on ice, and not a single thing to deliver in that category. So for the Nashville Predators, Lankinen finished tonight 31 out of 36, and I mean, that's it. The Preds never had a chance against the Edmonton Oilers. I'll talk more about that when we close it out, but I wanted to bring up something else, an incredible promo, Ships and Trips Travel. You know, a great partner here of the Renegades of Puck, and I love talking to you about those guys. We've got the Vegas trip coming up here on New Year's Eve, and we've also got something we just announced in the last week, our trip to Mexico, our trip to Puerto Vallarta, and we've got something special to add on top of that. First of all, why don't I tell you all about what's coming up here with the trip? Roll the spot. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com, and just click on the ROP on vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun in the sun. I sure hope all of you can join us on vacation with Pete in paradise. And here's how we're going to sweeten the pot just a little bit to go ahead and get you motivated, to get you greased, to go ahead and get you registered, get you deposited as soon as possible. We are going to do a drawing for 2 tickets to the Nash Vegas event and celebration put on by the Nashville Predators. It's going to include a parking pass and a VIP reception. If you book the trip and you register before January the 15th of 2023, you'll be entered into a drawing to win those 2 tickets to Nash Vegas. Ships and Trips Travel is coming through with the goods right there. Not only putting together this incredible trip and taking the Renegades of Puck worldwide and global, but also offering you some incentives that are going to make this trip even more cost effective. We sure hope that you'll join us in Mexico. We are very much looking forward to our first international excursion as the Renegades of Puck. It's going to be a hell of a time being with Pete Weber in paradise and the rest of the Renegades of Puck. Come on, please join us down there. Now, it's time to close this thing out, and it's easy. The Edmonton Oilers are not on the Nashville Predators level, and for the last couple of seasons with Draisaitl and McDavid, they have not been anywhere near the Nashville Predators level. Now, the Edmonton Oilers haven't found that success yet. They're a middle team in their own division, and they have struggled to find their way to the promised land when it comes to the playoffs, not even yet achieving a Stanley Cup playoff berth with these significant players that they have, some of the best in the entire NHL, but they have yet to even compete for a Stanley Cup. But the Nashville Predators aren't even close to that. The Preds are a bottom third team in this league right now, and the worst thing you can be is a team that doesn't know what direction it's going. The Nashville Predators are in the middle of the pack, and that's exactly where they're going to stay, and at best, they're going to compete for the 5th spot in the West and Central Division and maybe a wild card spot at best. The Nashville Predators have no direction at this point in time. They're not playing or developing the young players, and they're certainly not getting anything out of the veteran players. There's new ownership coming in here soon, and they're going to make changes. David Poile cannot remain here much longer. It doesn't matter if it's by performance or by age. At some point in time, David Poile is absolutely going to have to retire. He has to be getting close to that point right now. Bill Haslam is going to come in and take over the team, and you know he's going to make changes, and I don't think anything is going to remain unchanged. I think we're going to see significant changes when it comes to the front office, the leadership, and the direction of this franchise from what you have known to what you will know in the future. It's very uncertain right now. It's completely unwritten, but I have a feeling, knowing the type of business people that are taking over the team and exactly what the future holds for this franchise. So I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're aware of it. But I don't think things are going to be the same for very much longer here. The coach's seat is getting hotter. The GM seat is about as hot as it can get. And for some of these players that are on very large dollar, high-end contracts, you've got to wonder how much longer will they be allowed to just stick around and have 6 goals in a season at this point in time. I mean, to be honest with you, that puts you on a pace for somewhere around 18 goals by the end of the season. 16, 18 goals following up a 40-plus goal season, breaking the franchise record. It's simply just not good enough. Nothing about this Nashville Predators team has been good enough, and you know that, I know that, we all know that. But we're going to be here, we're going to keep covering, we're going to keep tracking, we're going to keep breaking it down, and hopefully we'll get better results. Better results leads to more clicks, leads to more follows, leads to more subscriptions, leads to everything. People are having a good time when their team is winning. When their team's not winning, they don't want to be here. The great hockey war has broken so many people. I see the honeymoon period of 2017 has been over for a long time, but I truly see what was left of it, the remnants of it, the people that were willing to stick in from 2017 till now. And by the way, one final point. I hear the 2017 thing so many times. Well, 2017 was just some, lucky thing that happened, and the Preds just found a way as an 8 seed to get to the Stanley Cup final. The next year, they won the President's Trophy, okay? Yes, 2017, they were an 8 seed, and they found a way to get to a Stanley Cup final before losing the 6 games to the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the next year, they not only won the division, they were the President's Trophy winning team and the number 1 seed in the NHL. So it wasn't some fluke that they ended up being good. They won the division 2 years in a row after that. Maybe it was PK Subban. I don't know. Maybe he was the spark that kept this team going in a positive direction. Maybe I just wanted to say something controversial before we closed out the show. I think things are going to change. For everybody who follows the Preds, everybody who keeps an eye on this, keeps a pulse on this, I think there are significant changes coming in the future for this team, and it all starts with the new ownership group. Rarely does an ownership group take over a franchise and not make big changes and bring in their own people. Listen, I sure hope you're going to join us in Mexico on our trip. I sure hope you're going to join us on social media. I sure hope you're going to join us here on Renegades of Puck TV. I appreciate each and every one of you. Looking forward to taking a couple of days off over the Christmas break. We'll still be here breaking down each and every game. But everybody, I hope you have a happy holidays. If you can't join us over the next couple of shows, truly, thank you so much for an incredible year. I hope you have a fantastic holidays wherever it is you may be, wherever it is you may be traveling. Stick taps, love, and respect to you. Truly. Cheers. Thank you so much. It's been an incredible year. More people than ever are hearing and listening and following along to the Renegades of Puck than we could have ever anticipated or expected, and we love it. We're so appreciative of it, and a lot of that is due to Full Press Preds, and we are so thankful to be part of the Full Press NHL network. Hey, Renegades, stick taps, love, and respect. See you soon.